Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Fran Bishop,
And this is Carlin Benedetto.
and we are from Mom and Me Fit, and we're coming to you live from the Mom and Me Fit Met Kids headquarters here in Alexandria, Virginia. We thank everyone for tuning in for our first of many Mom and Me Fit and Met Kids live Google Hangout launches. And today represents the very first day of our Google Hangout launch and also the Mom and Me Fit Challenge. So we certainly hope those of you who have joined us will be invigorated by this challenge or excited by the challenge. We have a couple speakers with us this afternoon that are just going to kind of give you some tips and highlights as to what you can look forward to during the 30-day challenge. And during this showcase, if there's any questions that you have that come up during this call, please let us know. Carlin is standing by as Coach Carlin. She has been involved from the beginning of the Mom and Me Fit inception in terms of the development of the program. So she's going to be offering you some highlights as well. So a couple things we wanted to share with you this afternoon in terms of how we got started and why this is so important to us. When we started to think about how we could better affect and really support Met Kids, the users of our network, we really started to get into, what is the family makeup and what does it come down to in terms of motivating kids to stay healthy and fit. A big part of our community are teachers. Mm-hmm. And teachers' feedback is, hey, you've got to start in home. You've got to really help the kids develop the habits at home. They bring them to school, and then they last a lifetime. So we started to think about what that would look like, mm-hmm. and that's really where Mom and Me Fit started to come from. So Mom and Me Fit was kind of a collaboration of that idea as, how do we really help our kids and support them, and we can do that by better supporting the moms. Wouldn't you say, Carlin?
Yes, I agree with that completely.
Okay, so with that, our thought was, hey, let's give moms, let's meet them where they are. Moms are busy, they are multitasking. Many of our moms work every day, and so they have a lot going on. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So if we could provide a program that supported the moms right where they were, at home, at work, picking the kids up from school, and gave them the tips, tools, resources to really keep their fitness going, keep their health going, we felt that would be a great start, mm-hmm. which is where the virtual challenge idea came from. So when we started back in November, we had the live launch at one of our partners' studios in Georgetown, mm-hmm. right, Sports Zone Elite, and that went really well. We had a lot of moms come out. We had a lot of presentations. Carlin did a presentation there as well, LaToya Morton, who sits on our boot camp team. But we had a lot of people come out. Tessa Hale, representative from her firm at Revolutionary Foods. We had some Sports Zone Elite people come out. Dry Bar came out, who also supports us as a partner. So it was really, really nice, and it really gave the moms and the kids a great platform and resource in terms of what do I need, what are the tools. So that kind of led up to where we are today with the actual challenge. So the idea was to give moms and the kids again, meet them where they are, put it in their inbox every day. So all you really have to do is the email, and all the information is right there for you. Carlin, can you say a few words as to what the mindset should be of moms as they look through this information, particularly because, you've been responsible for co-creating a lot of the material itself?
Well, thinking back to when I started creating this, I was thinking it along the lines of keeping who I was working with in mind, considering the fact that you're busy moms, you have a lot of tasks to do on a daily basis, and have a lot of people calling new to fitness. So I thought along the lines of starting with basic movement and making it easy and simple so that you can progress from and then it'll get you a little stronger day by day. And just keep it in mind that it's something new, and it's always going to be a little stronger. You start to feel better. So it's one of these processes where I was thinking of the people I'm working with predominantly, as I created this.
Excellent. And I think to Carlin's point, the mindset is anywhere, anytime. You don't have to be at a certain gym, even though we're very happy to have Gold's Gym as one of our sponsors and partners, who's actually providing one of the gifts as a result of the challenge. But you don't have to be in a specific gym. You don't have to be in a specific location. This is really a virtual challenge. So wherever you are, Mom and Me Fit will work for you. Mm-hmm. Another point we want you to know is that there's going to be plenty of emails and videos and chats that will happen live But also, if you don't get a chance to participate in those, you can always get those via our feed. So wherever you click on to a Mom and Me Fit, the hashtag Mom and Me Fit Live, you can find that information. So it'll be at your fingertips, wherever you need it to be. So as we move forward, there's a couple things that we wanted to show you. If you look over to the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see the showcase. And the showcase really kind of gives you some ideas as to what some of the tools are that we have at your disposal. So if you click on the Met Kids Facebook page, then you'll be able to see the photo contest live. We'll take you there in just a moment. And that will give you, again, some information that you need, but also gives you the opportunity to upload your photos right away. You can also go to the Mom and Me Fit page on Met Kids home site and get more information. As we go through the challenge, there'll be information on our blog. There'll be information on our homepage that you can easily access as well. And then in addition to that, once the contest is over, we're going to give everyone who participated a free 30-day trial into Met Kids. So you'll be able to continue to access the Mom and Me Fit materials. If you missed out on any of the days, it's going to come to you. It's going to come fast. So just in case you miss anything, you'll always be able to get it and access it for at least 30 days after the contest. But then you'll also see lots and lots of other information that we've been working on in terms of our fitness library that just went live a few days ago. So that's kind of exciting,
That's exciting,
too.
Yes.
Yeah. Carlin, can you share with our listeners as well, what should they be thinking about as they go through this contest? There's a lot of information, of course, that they're going to be getting on a regular basis. What should they keep in mind as to not feel overwhelmed?
Yes, when you start something new, it's kind of hard to shy away from being overwhelmed with something because you have to start making this a lifestyle. So I say in the beginning, if you start making a detailed plan onto when you start doing these specific workouts, maybe in the morning when that's most available to you, or in the afternoon or evening, whatever time span that you find is the best time for you, I'd say it would be the best to do it in a plan-oriented way, so that way you'll know every day at this time or this time of day you'll be able to mark it on your calendar and then get it done. So I think it might be overwhelming at first, but as long as you keep a little bit of order and a little bit of a planning along the lines of your workout, then I think that will be the best bet for you.
Absolutely. Also, we want to keep in mind that you're going to be getting 2 emails a day. So when we started to look at the content, we realized the content is really, there's a lot of depth to it, a lot of richness, and Carlin really took her time in making sure that you had all the safety precautions and protocols you should take to make sure that it's a safe, effective workout. So that's pretty dense. So that email that comes to you in the morning is how you prep, how you start your day, how you really think about health, wellness, and fitness for your day. The email that you get in the afternoon will be more about nutrition, right? So what are the tips you need to keep in mind for today getting started? Also, what the recipe is that we want to challenge you on that you should try, and then upload your photo. So how did you go about it? What did it look like for you, for your child, or for anybody who's participating in the challenge with you? What did that look like? What were the highlights? What were some of the challenges you had? And then each time we have one of these calls, we'd love to hear from you and hear some of your questions.
Yes.
That kind of brings up a good point, Carlin. I know from our teacher community, we get questions from time to time about, how do they help the kids keep it going, or even the safety protocols. Can you speak a little bit to that in terms of why they want to make sure they read through the whole email that they get on the actual exercises, particularly when it comes to safety?
Oh, yes, because when you're starting something new, a lot of times what goes across your mind is, oh my God, how do I do this? I don't know if I'm doing this right. Am I going to get myself hurt? And am I doing it right? And so what I provided was we have detailed pictures that states each of the movements, and then underneath it is a description describing you the movements step by step, and then also giving you an idea of what to watch out for in terms of safety, making sure you move in a specific way or you position yourself in a specific way just to make sure that you're safe. And at first it seems strange, but when you start getting used to these movements, it'll become muscle memory, and then it'll get easier as you go on.
Absolutely, and that's really, really important. I can attest to that from my days as being a trainer. A lot of times there's so much information out there in the media and online, at the grocery store, at the gym, what have you. A lot of times people want to be their own expert. So they'll read it and they think, hey, I know what to do when it comes to a deadlift. I know what to do when it comes to a squat. I know what to do, what to do when it comes to an upright row. But if your body positioning is not quite right, if your structure is not quite right, if you don't have the right alignment, you really can hurt yourself. And you can hurt yourself very seriously. If there's a proper way to do a squat, there's a proper way to do a deadlift, there's a proper way to do a lunge, and people would be surprised how much they can hurt themselves in the long run. So you really want to make sure, again, that you read through the tips and resources well.
And I actually have a point to that, too. A lot of times when people look in the media or when they look in magazines and they say, oh, this is the newest fad in fitness, you should do this, do CrossFit or do burpees or do push-ups or do all these exercises that are considered really hard for most people to do. And so what most people do is think that I could do this, and then they'll take the magazine with them, which I've actually seen at the gym, and they try to emulate what the picture is showing them. And because they don't have a basis of strength in their body, they can't perform that movement properly, and then that's where errors form in their body position and then injury results. So looking from the standpoint of an absolute beginner, I'm putting in movement that you need to learn as a first-time workout person, and then I'm giving you a basis of strength, like you have to learn how to walk before you run. So this way, when you go into, progressing through the exercises, you're going to have that strong base of support, and you're going to have that strong muscle tone with your core and your back to be able to do these exercises properly and effectively.
Excellent. Really good points. Really, really good points. So I think now is a good time to pause and thank our sponsors and those who have been with us actually since the inception of Mom and Me Fit, and have really helped us champion the cause of what we're about, and really support moms in their journey to stay fit and to really help their families. So first off, Kind nutrition bars. Kind has been great. I don't know if anyone has ever tried the Kind bars, but they are phenomenal. In fact, there's one right over there, Carla, if you want to grab them, and they're in the bag, just so we can show everybody at home what the Kind bars look like. The brown bag. But they're great bars. There's lots of different types of bars that you can try. They're fantastic. You can have them at lunchtime. You can have them in the morning. But they're very tasty, and they have great flavors. That's the thing I love about the Kind bars. So we've got here, let's see, these are the almond bars. I think, what are these called? Madagascar Vanilla Almond. They're fantastic bars. Actually, they're actually in reverse for you. Sorry about that, because you can't, because of the way it's coming up. And then she's got the pomegranate and blueberry pistachio. So the great thing I think about Kind bars, and I've been, in fitness for about 20 years, is that I find that you can suggest things to clients all day long, but if it doesn't taste good, they're not going to eat it. Kind bars taste great, and they really do provide everything that you need in terms of boost. You want to read off some of the ingredients, Carla?
Yes, actually, it has a lot of, they're gluten-free, which I know a lot of people may have that problem with gluten, so you have to worry about that. They have low sodium. They're low glycemic, which means it's not going to affect your blood sugar. It's not going to rise, and it's going to keep you satiated. It's going to keep you full. It has protein, fats, good fats, cholesterol-free, no trans fats. Everything is good. It's a perfect little snack and keep you full and focused for your workouts.
Exactly. And again, it's one of those things that it's a great in between. We always say, we always advocate 5 small meals a day, right? So you'll see in Tessa's from Revolutionary Foods, her tips on nutrition. You're eating those small meals throughout the day to keep your body satiated, so you don't go into these crazy hunger zones and hunger bouts and you overeat. And I find that Kind is a great, in between meal snack that really satiates the appetite, to makes you feel not full, but again, giving you what you need, full of nuts, really full of whole grains, lots of protein, to give your body what it needs to fight off that hunger stage. So really, really good food.
Yes.
Another one of our sponsors in the past has been Sweet Green. You may be familiar with their restaurants here on the East Coast. Fantastic. They do a great job with salads. I'm a big salad person. I try to have one salad at least once a day. But they have a great variety of salads and even small snack items. So if you haven't tried Sweet Green yet, please try them out. Another one of our sponsors is Gold's Gym, and we're really excited. Well, throughout the challenge, we're going to be having different representatives from Gold's support us and beyond as part of the challenge, and they are offering actually a free membership to our winner, or to one of our winners. So we're really excited about having them. But Gold's is a great place for workouts, for memberships. They provide a huge plethora of programming in the community. So if you haven't checked out Gold's Gym, please check them out. And then we have two other really unique sponsors. I mentioned her name a couple times, Tessa Hale of Revolutionary Foods. We have two other unique sponsors in addition to them, and I'm going to actually share my screen now so that we can bring them up to you and you can see who they are. So just give us a moment here. I'd like to share my screen. This is a new fad for us, so we're trying it out. So hopefully you all can see our screen now. So I'm going to go to our tab spot. You can see that, and then I'll show you what I want you to see. Okay, so we're going to take you first to our Facebook page. And if you haven't had a chance yet, please go to the Mom and Me Fit Facebook page and you can log into the contest. Within the contest, you'll actually be able to see two sponsors, which we mentioned already. One is Heart and Soul Magazine. So Heart and Soul is actually offering a free subscription, membership for the whole year. So everyone who actually signs up for the challenge. So if you haven't yet, please sign up and you'll see them here on our launch page. And you can enter the contest through the photo contest app, so all you have to do is click here and you'll be able to see that. And then in addition to Heart and Soul Magazine, we also we're not being sponsored by, but we're also offering a Nike Fuel Band or a Fitbit, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. So for those of you who have seen the announcements of it, you've seen the advertisements of it, it's fantastic to have a Fitbit or a Nike Fuel Band to really keep you monitoring what you're doing in terms of your fitness. Mm-hmm. Would you want to say anything more about that, Colin?
Oh, yes. It's a great motivator to have something recording your workouts, because when you get to actually virtually see it online, when you connect it to your computer, you're seeing all your results and you're seeing your progress, and it actually gives you that extra motivation, like you have a personal trainer with you saying, oh, look at all what I did, and then you feel really good about what you accomplished, and it keeps you motivated. So it's a great tool to have.
Absolutely. So that's another one of our great sponsors that we're really happy to have. I'm going to go back to Hangout for just a moment. Stop sharing my screen, because I want to share something else on the screen, and that is the inside of the MetKids page. So once you, again, become a member, we wanted just to show you really briefly what the library looks like that you'll have access to. So let me pull that up. Give us just a moment here. This is a really fantastic app that Google's given us, but I tell you, it's a lot to it. So we're going to show with you our Fit Bag now. This is from MetKids. So in addition to the Mom and Me Fit, all the information that you get, you'll also get the fitness library. So we're just going to take you in there real quick so you can see. Carlin and I, along with our MetKids team, have been working on this for quite some time. So let's see. Let me pull out of here for a moment and take you to the library. So in the library, you'll be able to see hundreds of workouts as a MetKids member that you can have access to. And the workouts really range from body weight to cardiovascular. We've got some core training in here, flexibility training and stretching. So again, the biggest question that we hear with participants in Mom and Me Fit is, how do I keep it going? You know, what do I do after 30 days? And that's great, because people realize I need more than 30 days to stay fit for life. Mm-hmm. So lots of different exercises that you can have access to for you and for your kids, for your family, really, from core exercises to cardio exercises. Another really cool feature of MetKids is resources. So parents are always asking us, and even teachers are asking us, you know, where are great resources that I can find for my kids in my area, in my state. So just giving you an example here of Virginia. If you clicked on Virginia as a state, you'll see a breakdown of a variety of different exercises in a variety of cities, if it ever wants to come up. So in the northern portion, the central portion of the state, and the southern portion of the state, do that. If we click on the actual city, you see it pull up. So we're clicking on Herndon. And then you'll see a variety of notes from personal trainers to hiking trails, farmers markets, pediatricians, family nutrition consultants, just a plethora of information. And you'll see from the resource page, this is for the whole United States. Mm. So we've highlighted about 6 to 7 major cities in each quadrant of the U.S. So really giving you a great breakdown of information. Anything you want to add to that, Carlin?
No, I think it's great because a lot of times you don't know what's available in your area, and so now that you have this app here, this little app here, you have this opportunity to find out what's in your area, where you're able to find healthy resources for restaurants and grocery stores and fitness tips. So it's a great resource to have.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, we want to highlight the recipe section. So under recipes, you'll be able to see just a variety of recipes, and these are could continue to be added to. So parents are always looking for great recipes. They can try with their kids, or their kids can try on their own, and you'll see this under our, again, the Met Kids resources page. All right, so we're going to head back into the Hangout. As we come to a wrap, let's see if we have any questions that have come up during this. And while we go to questions, Carl, I want to just highlight a couple of quick tips that we want our listeners to keep in mind as they get started. I think we've come up with a total of, yes, 10 tips. So do you want to highlight a couple of the tips there?
Oh, yes. Like when you start something new, you want to make sure that you are, you want to keep your motivation up. So you just want to think about, when you're starting this program, think of a goal and be realistic to what it is you're thinking of as you progress through this. Whether it's, losing a little bit of weight, feeling good, just having an easier way of going about your daily activities, just thinking about being realistic to what it is you'd like to reach by the end of this challenge. Maybe it's more about bonding with your children. It could be many things, or maybe a way to organize your lifestyle a little bit more. Keep track of your progress as you go through this. Think about having maybe a little journal, or what I find is a really good idea is if you take a big calendar and you place it on the refrigerator, and then you start putting in the daily exercise that you're going to do, and then you can check them off, and then you can just think of it as like a visual way to keep you motivated as well. So keeping track of your progress. Think about it as like a lifestyle change. So as you go through this, you don't want to think about it being like you have to expect to be perfect in this. You just have to go through it day by day. There'll be some trials along the way, but just know that once you start out, it gets easier and easier every day. So perfection is not something you want to try to attain to. Think of a healthy lifestyle and making everything easier as you go about your daily activities.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, exercise does need to be progressive. Remember, it's not the original mountain, it's the journey to the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So as you go through this each and every day, you're going to find out new things about yourself in terms of testing your own physicality. I can attest to that. I went through a major surgery last year when I ruptured my patella tendon, which I'll get into on another call, but I can tell you, being in fitness for 20 years and having to come back from a major injury and to learn how to use my body differently, and I would say in a different way, but also in a safer way, practically, because I'm older than I was when I started in the industry 20 years ago, but also my body moves differently.
Mm-hmm.
I may not have the same level of physicality, so you'll learn as you go through, and I've learned that in terms of being moderate with my body, what I can take, what I can't, and I don't force things.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to learn to listen to your body and enjoy the journey. It's not about just the destination.
Right. That's exactly it. Everybody's in a different place. Everybody has different bodies, flexibility, their ability level, and then just knowing that you do the best that you can with what you have, because it is tailored to be for a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
And so just taking it day by day, and yes, listening to your body, like Fran just mentioned, definitely. Make it convenient as well. You want to make it where it's going to work for you in your day. So scheduling, like I mentioned earlier, a certain part of your day, maybe morning is perfect for your morning person, or in the afternoon when you have time, or in the evening. These workouts aren't tailored to be very long, so that's another benefit. So, maybe 25 minutes up to 30 minutes of exercise a day. Part of it's the warm-up, and then you're going to be doing a series of maybe 4 exercises. So it's not too overwhelming, and then we end with a stretch. So it's basically just introducing you into fitness, and then you continue to progress daily. Forget about what the past has brought to you in terms of your fitness. Think about this as a journey going forward. Think about each day and how each day you make progress, and think about the success and how you're feeling throughout the day. And also, as you move forward, you're going to notice your energy is going to change, your mood's going to change, and when you start doing something for yourself physically, you start to notice how it interrelates with everything in your life, with your job, your friends, your relationships, everything. So think of it each day as a stepping forward, as opposed to thinking about the past. And also give yourself some opportunities to reward yourself throughout this challenge. So let's say you finish your first week, think about, oh, I finished my first week. What can I do for myself that'll make me feel good? Maybe you can get a manicure, or if you can go get your hair done, something fun, or some fun activity you could do with your children. And also another way you can make it as like a fun challenge for yourself, giving yourself little rewards along the way.
That's a good point, if I can just speak to that. So again, it's when you think about the reward piece, also think about how you balance out the activity.
Mm-hmm.
I had a client years ago who loved to exercise. I mean, every day she wanted to do something that was intensive, and it was a mindset that she had, because she was fixated on losing weight. And it really took a long period of time for her to understand that part of the reward and also the balance of exercise is taking the time off.
Yes.
And finding other things to balance out to provide homeostasis for your body. So to Carlin's point, a good massage.
Yes.
You can go for a manicure and get a great hand massage. That can still be very relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Go take a trip to Whole Foods and go down the nutrition and supplement aisle and find some holistic oils. I love experimenting with new oils. My husband and I were in the store this weekend, and he picked up some patchouli, and I picked up another bottle of essential oil. I love lavender. Lavender is very relaxing at night and calming. So again, it doesn't have to be just about the intensity of the exercise. Find other things that can be rewarding and also enjoyable to balance out your program.
Right, exactly. I agree with that completely. Nice bath would be good too.
Yes.
And then also, when you're going through a fitness program, it's always easy in general to compare yourself to others, and that's another hard part, but also at the same time think you are you and there's no other you.
Yeah.
And so when you go through this, try to think, okay, I'm doing the best I can, I'm doing what I want to do, I have my goals, I have the way I want to move through this. Think of it as your own personal triumph, and you're conquering something for yourself, as opposed to trying to compare yourself to others, because that's only going to derail you, and it's going to make you not move forward in your progress. Just keep true to yourself and say, okay, this is me. I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to move forward with my goals.
Yeah. And you're not going to force it. Don't try to force it. Our mission at MedKids is give every kid everywhere a passion and a purpose to move. That passion and purpose has to come from within in terms of how you like to move. So your favorite exercise is, not putting you on the spot.
Well, I like to dance personally, so I find that even if I just get moving, a good set of music, another way of keep yourself motivated is playing some good music when you work out. That's another an incentive to keep you going. When you have a fun playlist that you can create, we'll also give you some tips on some playlists throughout this challenge as well, so then you can tune into some of our music and our favorite choices, and then you can also create your own.
Yeah. So
that's an incentive to keep yourself moving.
See, and hers is dance. Mine is Pilates and bar ballet movement. So I like, again, because I'm going all the time, I like to find something that kind of brings me down a little bit. Pilates forces me to slow down. Even the music, a lot of times that the instructor uses, or ballet bar is a new exercise that we have in the fitness industry. So it's again a more therapeutic type of movement for my body, from years of practicing a lot, running track a lot, and also competing a lot. So it's almost like I'm changing places with where I was 20 years ago. So again, it's finding your passion movement and being real to that and holding to that and finding what agrees for your body and works for your body, because everybody is not the same.
Right.
No program is the same, and it's not going to be the same for you in terms of your journey.
Right. And also looking into that too, when you go through these exercises, this is basically supposed to give you a basic strength to get yourself strong to do any type of activity that you want to do. A lot of times you think, oh, I can't do this, or I can't do this, I can't do that because I have a bad knee, or I have a bad back, or I haven't worked out in my life, and I don't do cardio. And so you're stuck with the thought of thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? The magazines tell me to do this, everybody tells me to do this, but not everybody's considered the same. So this program is basically supposed to make you strong from the inside out, to make you able to go out and explore your passions, like she mentioned, like your Zumba or your Pilates or anything else. It's going to give you that basis of strength, so that it's going to put you in the right place to be able to do anything from that point on.
Absolutely.
So think of it that way. And then also your support is like a really good thing for you. Is actually a very important thing. Having support from your family and friends is another important aspect, because you want to make sure you can share this with people and then they have your back and they're actually supporting you through this, keeping you updated with how you're doing, asking you questions. It's always good to have support because it makes you feel good, and then they can give you positive reinforcement to your behavior and your lifestyle. So that's another important thing. And we also offer breaks throughout the challenge, so you get a chance to rest and, you know, let your muscles get stronger. And then you'll notice, like, one of the hardest things I've noticed too is, like, I had an injury myself, and then getting back into it is actually the hardest thing. Sometimes just getting there or just starting the thing or the exercise is the hardest thing. But the best thing is, once you start moving and you get into your routine, you start to feel so good. You feel energized. You have a brighter outlook on things. So always say to yourself, if let's say one day you don't want to work out, just say, I will only do 10 minutes. Just give yourself a couple minutes to do it. And then once you get into it, you'll realize, oh, I could go longer. I could do more. So giving yourself a smaller realm of time so you won't let yourself get away from it, it will actually make you do it, because then you're saying, oh, it's not too much for stress. I could just do 10 minutes. It's good. So just keeping that in mind, that when you start doing this, you're going to start noticing your energy and your mood change, and you're going to want to do it. It's going to become a lifestyle that you'll really enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic. Thanks for the tips.
Sure.
So as we bring things to a wrap-up, let's see if we've had any questions. And as we do that, too, we also want to once again thank all of our sponsors who are involved with the Mom and Me Fit Challenge and the contest. That would be Kind Nutrition Bars. In addition to Kind, we also want to thank Heart and Soul Magazine for their free subscriptions for everyone who's involved in the challenge. We also want to thank Gold's Gym. We couldn't do it without Gold's. I mean, Gold's has been fantastic with us, and we're really excited to have them on board as a sponsor. We want to thank our personal chef. Depending on where you live and where you are, we have a couple personal chefs picked out that will be one of the contest winners. So we want to thank our personal chef for being a part of it. And, of course, you know that you'll receive, again, either a Fitbit or a Nike Fuel Band for one of our contest winners as well. So as we bring this out, let's take a look at these questions that we've had. So we have one question in reference to pace and knowing, how do you know a pace that's good and that will work for you throughout the challenge? So thinking about that, Carlin, how would a person know the right pace that they should keep their workout? Whether it's, you know, I know back in the day when I taught a lot of group fitness classes, it was either low intensity, moderate, or high intensity. So how do you, as, you know, just an individual, know which pace should I try to keep during the challenge in terms of intensity?
In terms of intensity, when we start out, we're going to be doing basic movement, so the pace is not going to be overwhelmingly quick. It's not going to be fast movement. It's not going to get your heart rate up too much because, again, we're starting from the beginning. We're starting from the bottom up. So we want to start something where your body's going to get used to moving. Your lungs and your cardiovascular system is going to start getting ignited in a slow way, in a progressive way. So it's not going to be like, oh, I'm out of breath and I'm going to die. It's not about, you know, killing you and making it overwhelming. The pace is very, very slow. It's going to give you detailed instructions on how many to do, and it's going to give you an option of how many sets to do. So if it's too overwhelming to you, you can back off the amount that you do, but it gives you a very basic pace, and it's very slow, but you can also step it up if you have that option. If you're a little bit more advanced, it gives you an extra, if you want to add a challenge, it gives you steps to do that as well.
Okay, fantastic. We have another question coming in from one of our participants. So what types of photos should be posted during the challenge? Okay, I can answer that one. Any and all photos, obviously with discretion. So we don't want to see a lot of stuff hanging out, but whatever works, we want to see it. So we want to see what your journey has been like. You know, part of the winners will be what the journey was like and how they got to their final destination. What was the transformation? The transformation like. So we want to see that in pictures, and obviously when you post up, you can obviously post on our timeline what the transformation means to you. So we want to hear from you as much as possible, and we want to see. And I think so does our audience. So they're very curious. We've had lots and lots of people actually write in and call and say, you know, when I vote, what should I be looking for? And really that's wide open. It really depends upon what resonates with you, I think, as a viewer and also as a user. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, taking pictures of your experience through the journey. Yeah, taking pictures of you working out or your experience within the exercises or whatever it is you're doing. If you're making a recipe, you could take pictures of that.
Oh,
you know,
good.
keeping notice of, just keeping track. You know how when you take selfies when you're out with your friends, you know,
Yeah.
doing whatever activities you're doing. Think of it as a selfie. I know everyone's into selfies, so think of your experience and what you're doing as a way of letting people know into your world of your challenge and in your experience, so then they see your progression, and then that in turn is going to give people motivation, because photos say a lot and gives people insight to what you're doing, and you can be helpful in that aspect too.
Absolutely. So there's no bad picture per se. Obviously we want to keep it clean, but we really, again, want to see your transformation and what that looks like for you and what that feels like to you. And I think that I was talking to somebody about this just the other day. You really don't know what's going to inspire somebody else to move and to get on a lifetime of change when it comes to health and fitness. It could be something very small in terms of just hearing your story or seeing your story or seeing a picture. We never really know that. I know from my own experience in working with thousands of people over the years, it really just depends. Everybody's a little bit different. So just share it and let the audience enjoy it.
Yes.
I think that's the last thing we'll say. All right. So those are the main questions that we had. Again, we cannot thank you enough for tuning in to the first Mom and Me Fit Fitness Challenge launch.
I know, we're super
This is
excited.
really
We're very
awesome.
happy
We're
that
very
it's started
excited.
and it's beginning.
Absolutely. And if there's any questions that you have as you go through the challenge, Coach Carlin is always here to answer them. You'll be getting a post up each day in your inbox of information. Again, a nutrition tip and recipe, and also your fitness workout for the day. So again, just share those pictures, share your comments, let us know how it's going and how you're feeling about the whole thing.
Yes.
And then again, as we go through it, we do have a couple boot camps coming up from another sponsor in the area, Roadrunners, who is actually a shoe and footwear company here locally in the DMV. So we'll be having a live boot camp coming up in the next couple of weeks, so please stay tuned for that as well.
Yes.
And then we'll also have a couple of live events and calls for our recipe challenges that are coming up. So this is Fran Bishop
And Carlin Benedetto.
signing off from the Mom and Me Fit Challenge.
Yay!
Picture.